Mike, we're fed a daily diet about how important it is that the consumer switches to cleaner forms of transport. Now, you've just concluded a proprietary survey on European car buyers' behavior. What surprised you most about the outcome of that survey?
Yeah, hi, Rod. So one of the key conclusions was that consumers don't currently share the same enthusiasm for battery electric vehicles, so that's BEVs, as policymakers, with only 16% opting for this new technology for buyers in the next 12 months or so. And indeed, the majority continue to favour the internal combustion engine, or ICE, in some form, and that includes hybrids, of which 44% of those responding were opting for. So this doesn't really bode well for pure plays such as Tesla. There's also a lack of charging infrastructure and range anxiety that prevents buyers from potentially owning a BEV, and that's along with our high price. So given the current market share for BEVs in Europe of about 14%, this doesn't suggest that there's a huge amount of upside for the technology at current pricing and technology points.
And then in terms of the different variants of electric vehicles, which proved to be the most popular? And are there any significant brand loyalties that surface from this as well?
Yeah, that was significant as well. So as I mentioned, 44% of respondents favoured a hybrid, and that was split evenly between plug-ins, so PHEVs, and hybrid electric vehicles, so non-plug-ins or HEVs. So with Mercedes and BMW leading in terms of market share for PHEVs in Europe, that bodes well for them. And on the HEV side, Toyota brand is the dominant player, which has almost 55% market share in Europe and enjoys a notable cost advantage, given that it basically only sells HEVs now. Renault was second with a 15% market share, and that was followed by Hyundai and Kia, which are gaining market share. So they were at 14% in the first half of this year. This may also prove an issue for Volkswagen, which only has a 2.5% PHEV sales mix in the first half, and it doesn't sell HEVs at all. In terms of brand loyalty, this was a positive for EU brands, particularly in Germany and for German brands, though long order waiting times for vehicles and a lack of availability of some types of vehicle are the main reason for switching brands. On top of that, currently 80% of respondents think that new car prices are too high. So this is a big issue for automakers, because one of investors' key themes or concerns for 2023 is in terms of, can pricing discipline be maintained for the remainder of this year?
And then maybe just to finish off, can you explain a little bit about the methodology behind the survey and how robust it is? I mean, it's a fantastic body of work.
Of course. So this was a European survey, but we only surveyed consumers from the Germany, UK, France, and Italy and Spain. But these countries combined make up 75% of new passenger vehicle sales. So the survey was conducted by a test, and we had 1,500 respondents in total. And that was split evenly between various demographics.
Well, some really interesting conclusions from that survey. Thank you very much for spending some time with us, Mike.
Thank you.